Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be explaining what is Ingress and why do we need them. So, just to give just a basic understanding of Ingress. So, Ingress is mainly used to reduce the number of load balancer creation in Kubernetes. As we know that the load balancers are so expensive, let us see how it's going to help. So let us assume that I am the user who is going to access this URL in my browser. So this is my URL which I'm going to access from the browser. The moment I hit that cricket http www.cricket.sports.com in my browser, it will go back to your load balancer. What load balancer will do? The load balancer will help you to resolve your URL with the IP address that you added in your added in your DNS registry. Once it gets resolved, it will send you to your Kubernetes Ingress rules. So yeah, just I wanted to add a little bit information here. That load balancer service will come as part of your Ingress controller installation. For this demo, I have used Nginx Ingress controller. So from here, it will go to your routing rules. Routing rules are nothing but what you written as part of your YAML. This is how it exactly look like. This is a sample YAML file for the URL cricket.sports.com. So I'm just telling my YAML file, when the user hits that one, don't redirect. See, if you see here, it's empty. At the same time, I'm telling that so when the user hits that page, go find out the corresponding service. So let us see here the service name I given as cricket. It will find out the same the name cricket in my Kubernetes cluster. If you see here, this is a snippet of my service. It will go and call this one, the service with a name called cricket. So again, as we know, as part of the Kubernetes basics, your services will call your pod. So in this case, you need to define what pod to call. That will be in your selector section, where I mentioned that env is cricket. This is nothing but your label. This label should match with your pod label. So once it matches, it will call your pod. So coming back to your architecture, so the host based, here I'm not passing any path. That's why it's a host based routing. If we are just hitting cricket.sports.com, it will go to the service name. This service is nothing but this is what it is. And then once your service will call your pod. So this is your pod. I hope you understand the Ingress architecture and how that Ingress architecture works for the host based route. I'm going to do the similar stuff for the path based route in my next slide. So the difference between the host based route and path based route is very simple. Only the path. In the host base, where it was empty, but in the path base we have like /cricket. So this is something what commonly they will use in the Kubernetes. Rest everything is the same. Your routing rule is what I defined here. And if you see here the /cricket, when I hit this one, I'm telling still go and call the service name with the cricket. And that means like if I have multiple website, multiple application running in my host, I can have like a path based, one for cricket, one for soccer, one for tennis. Likewise, I can create multiple rules as part of the path based. So when the user hits the sports.com, let us assume my website is sports.com, Under sports.com, I might have multiple pods like a slash cricket slash soccer. When user eats slash cricket, it will go and call the respective service. That service will go and call the respective pod. So the basic understanding is that you will have the reference here in your ingress rule. That is the only difference, but the underlying architecture for the host based and path based, the flow and everything remains the same. Just only the rules, the ingress rule what you write will vary little bit. Rest everything the same. I think you understand the basics of what is host based route and path based route. I'm going to show you that in a demo shortly. Let us look into a demo now. For this demo, basically you need to install Ingress controller, and I'm going to use Nginx Ingress controller. Since I'm doing this on my bare metal, so you need to install metal LB. So I will post all these steps in the description. At some point I will add all this stuff in the GitHub so that I can, and then I'll make it public so everyone can see my I can post my Docker image repositories and all the respective YAML file. Everything will be placed based on the topic that so far I put. I will do that probably maybe in a couple of days. So copy this command and go here and execute this. And this one will go and execute this command, clear, and then installing the next one. So do clear. So I have done installing for this 2 YAML is complete. I already moved all my YAML file. So basically I'm having 2 pods, one for soccer and another one for the cricket. Let me quickly open one of the pod and let me open the corresponding soccer YAML. Okay, and so this is a one which I showed you in the presentation, and this is my ingress rule. This is more important for this topic. So the first one is going to be your host based. You see here cricket.sports.com and path is slash just empty, and that will call your cricket service, and this one will call your cricket svc soccer.yaml because you define your metadata name as soccer, and this soccer as your environment variable as soccer, and this will match your corresponding and a label in your pod. So that is how it's like all are interdependent. And the next host base is soccer.sports.com, and that will call the corresponding soccer name. If I use a different name, then I have to create a different service name, and that service will call the respective pods. And finally I'm going to in my same YAML file I also added for the path based. My host is sports.com, and if I use slash cricket, it will go and call the respective service. If I use soccer, it will call the respective soccer part, soccer service, and soccer service will call the respective part. Let me go and execute. Let me go and deploy all this YAML file. kubectl create -f. I'm going to do cricket kubectl create -f pod soccer. So the pod is created now. kubectl get pods. You can see the 2 pods with the name cricket and soccer got created. Now I'm going to do it for the services, for the corresponding services. I need to go and create kubectl create -f svc and cricket. I will go and modify it, soccer, kubectl get svc. Okay, I just wanted to show you something. kubectl get ing. Okay, so when you do this kubectl ingress nginx ingress control, it will create the new namespace get ns. So if you see here, it's get created the ingress nginx. So we wanted to see what is there in that ingress nginx. Let me go and see what is that. kubectl get service under the namespace -n. You see that there are two services got created. This ingress nginx control will help you to create a fixed static IP. This is going to be your load balancer URL. The external user will be accessing this IP. This IP is going to resolve. For example, if I'm going to use like cricket.sports.com, that cricket.sports.com will have this IP in the host file, because since it's not the actual DNS registry, I wanted to mimic in my local. So I will show you what I'm referring now. cat/etc/host. If you see here, I'm just put here, this is the host name which the user will be accessing, and further the IP is this. The concept of load balance is that when the user is at cricket.sports.com, it will basically resolve the IP. So since we are not using the actual load balancer, we are mimicking in our local. So that's what it is. So it's created the static IP. That is the IP I'm going to use for all the three URL, and just I wanted to show you that. And when the external user accesses this page, it's basically going to support both 80 and the port 443. 80 is HTTP and 443 is HTTPS. So now we'll go and see that get svc. I created three. Basically, it's actually a two service. For now, just ignore this. Is something I created long back. You have two services with the name cricket and soccer, and now I'm going to create the ingress services, which is nothing but this is a YAML file which I'm going to create now. kubectl create. This is nothing but your ingress rule. When the user hit the page where it has to go and what, everything is defined. So let me go and see that kubectl get ing. Now you see here, it is empty now. It will take some time to load. Watch kubectl get ing. Yeah, see, previously it was empty. Now whatever that, when you do an installation of nginx ingress controller, that IP is assigned to this port, assigned to this host. So this is what I just copied, cricket.sports.com. I copied and updated in the host file. So we are done with the configuration and installation of nginx control and deploy the pod services, and also we deployed your YAML file. Let us go and access your the URL. So let me open my Unix box. Okay, so this is my one of the Kubernetes cluster host. I'm going inside my Kubernetes cluster. Let me go and access. Okay, it's loading. So in case if you have any questions or comments, please update. and I'm happy to respond you back. Any questions related to Ingress or any questions related to Kubernetes, feel free to contact me. So I'm going to hit the first page, first URL, the host based route, cricket.sports.com. When I go on it's basically this is something what I written in my pod. It's just calling the website, so I just put some nice picture of MS Dhoni here. So I'm going to do the same stuff for the soccer here. So again, I'm just repeating what we are seeing now. It is the host based route, and so when you see here, when you hit the page, it's going to the respective. I'm what all I'm doing is just two parts running in the cluster. I'm using the same single load balancer got created based out of Kubernetes Ingress controller. Now we access two different URL for the host base. Now I'm going to access the path base, so sports.com. So this is my path base. Now I'm going to add Control C. I'm going to add slash soccer. So when I go on it says thank you for accessing the soccer website. If I go and change cricket, it will say that thank you for accessing the cricket website. So I hope you understand how this Ingress controller, the architecture, and how it actually works in the backend. What is the purpose of the Ingress rules and how Ingress rules call the respective services. Everything detailedly explained in this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe it. Let us meet everyone in the next video. Thank you all. Bye.